You know.
And you're like a verbose kind of guy too, you know.
I like you to one.
Thank you. I don't even know what verbose means, and I just feel like that was like a heavy compliment. A verbose kind of guy.
Verbose means you have a good vocabulary.
Ooh, verbose.
Yeah. Like pompous.
Are we live right now?
It's negative.
Like 250, but that's going to be for when we transition from the pre-show to the
How sick was that fucking Halo jam, man?
Oh, man.
The Halo?
It was just like, I felt like so happy, you know?
I was
smiling the whole time.
Right?
The whole time, everything was going on. I really was just looking back at it. I was like, damn, we could have not had this. This could have been gone.
Right.
Motherfuckers would have missed that moment. Are you crazy?
Team Liquid started a thread. Like, Halo's too loud, we can't hear our casters. Like, no. You don't get that. You don't get that chance.
That's what's up, man.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's gnarly.
How big was that thread on Team Liquid?
I don't know. Someone just linked it to me. It probably had like one post, and then after that was probably just like a picture of like me, you, and Nexy like getting hung, or like a gun pointed to our heads, like. They're vicious, man. Thank God we don't have that kind of community.
They're also like talented with computers and stuff because they are all the time.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Right? Pre-show. You need to make a graphic for that, son.
Yeah, what are you doing? You're slacking. You don't do anything.
Turn yourself.
Yeah, you're right.
It feels good to be back.
It does, doesn't it? Like, I was so happy. Like, as soon as the event ended, I was like, oh, man, I get to get back on my flight, and then I get to go home and talk on the Halo Council.
I've been taking my Pro Pass off since the event. Like, look at this.
You're sleeping, and you're like, dude, I am still relevant.
You're like, I'm not even a Pro Pass. I'm a competitor, son. Top 8 free-for-all, top 8 for us.
Nick, dude, you're just better when you don't practice. Like, they got rid of the Squirrel Lounge, they got rid of Dr. Pepper Lounge for you, and because of that, you did well.
I try to tell my teammates, you don't really need to practice. It's kind of overrated. But no, you got to play 12 hours a day and shit. And crap.
Tell that to Snakebite and Royal, too, man.
This kid's don't play. They just made it to a week ago.
I feel like they play all the time, though, man. They love this game.
I'll say right now, though, before we go, Snakebite had the best awareness out of any player that I've seen.
Yeah, man. He's early.
The way he was playing was so fucking nerdy.
Right. Those snipe shots, those don't happen, man.
Yeah, but even still, it wasn't his shots that impressive. It was like he would be crouching, staring at nothing, but in his movements,
his movements are really good.
Crazy ass pats that he was gonna take.
Yeah.
Took those ways and he just raped everybody. It was nuts.
Yeah. It's off the record, man.
Nuts. But yeah, man. It was the best Halo event that I ever been to.
I was actually kind of wean into that because we're blowing all the material we have for our hour-long show.
No.
But, I agree.
It's
I would have to say, since it's not the show and I can get away with it, it was the best crowd I've been a part of since before Major League Gaming bought paid spectators to come in and cheer for final balls in those 6 finals.
Who are these middle-aged women screaming for burgers?
Yeah, why are they screaming for all final balls and how come there's none for Carbon? I have Beretta. I'm good, but
yeah,
dude. If there is one thing in this world is if you're on a good team, just grab a fan who could be the most annoying person in the world. And then no one wants to play you. But I love you, Beretta. I know you're not out there. I'm sure you're...
If he is, you're fucked. You're dead.
Yeah. He betrayed me anyway. As soon as I got the Beretta, he didn't even fucking talk to me. A bitch.
Anyway.
And dude, see, we're not prepared enough, man. This is why we don't make formats, dude.
Siren hates Gandhi.
I don't like that idea.
Yes, Siren. Everyone hates Gandhi. See, the whole
yeah, that is such an issue, Scott.
The clique is ruined by Gandhi.
It's not just by him.
No, it is by Gandhi.
No, it's mostly.
It's always him. There's just someone that randomly hates him, and then it just messes up my whole relationship. Because I'm affiliated with it.
Hey, wait, what is this?
I'm sorry, I'm venting. I'm sorry.
One thing before we even start.
I got 8th and free for. I let you guys down.
This is the first time that I heard incredible commentary in Halo. I've heard good commentary. I thought Puckett was nasty. Okay, I've sat by Puckett, so I know how good Puckett is. But I thought Scott was thoroughly entertaining. He was on that level, if not higher.
Well, all right, guys, there's our show. Tune in next week for another episode of the Halo Council.
No, and I'm serious. Like, I was proud of it this week. I thought it was...
Okay, so rewind here. So who hates me and why does it fuck up your guys' relationship?
I'm just fucking with you, but what happened? Oh, yeah, because Scott's not serious and Bravo is extremely serious, so... When you have Scott, poking at him and stuff like that. I mean, it's the same with Dave. But Dave has, that dry humor.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then it's a good combination. Wave sucks. Sorry, Wave. I know you're not watching.
Wave doesn't suck that much, man.
No, Wave sucks. Wave sucks.
I like Wave.
No, Wave sucks.
Wave sucks.
Oh, my God. Can we get this show started, man?
Let's start it.
I gotta, shut my door and shit, so.
I'm downloading an MP3.
The comes in the thing now. This is, cool.
Dude, I got so much more. Listen, if you guys step up your game and start making formats, I will make the product. I got so much shit I'm sitting on that I haven't released yet.
No, not midnight, man. I can't talk for that long.
I'm gonna meet you guys.
Until 1 a.m.
I'm gonna meet you guys.
We're going late though. We're going hard. We're going late, but not too late because Scotty.
Yeah, I'll be alright, man. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. This is the Halo Council. I'm Gandhi alongside of Nexy, Dmaq, and BESTMAN. Guys.
Yes.
How are you?
It was.
That was not the question. I know you're excited, but how are you?
I'm good. Thank God.
BESTMAN.
You guys hear me?
Yeah. How are you, man?
Oh, I'm good. Sorry. I completely just phased out. I'm doing good. Got caught up on my post-event sleep, and then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, dude, the tournament illness hit me like a ton of bricks.
How weak you get post-events? Every post-event, I swear to God, my body just shuts down.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks.
It's tragic. It's because we're not used to working and doing stuff on our feet. And then we finally do it for a weekend. Granted, we're playing video games, but hey, we come home and we're dead.
And we're malnourished. You get 1 meal a day.
No,
yeah.
It's all the cigarettes, bro, and the drinking. Let's be honest with ourselves. We don't take care of ourselves at events.
I don't do any of this.
Ask me how I'm doing.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you wanted to talk, man. Normally you come in as the voice of God.
Oh, I could do that. I'll sit back.
But how are you, man?
I just want to say it, man. You guys won't say it, but I'll say it. We fucking saved Halo. We did it, man. We're taking the credit. I don't give a fuck, dude. We saved it, man. So much for not cursing.
We certainly did help.
All right. Just back here. Enough of the bullshit. All right, well, guys, I think it's safe to say party cake. That's well deserved because Halo showed up in Columbus.
Motherfucker.
We did. Seriously, just a round of applause there. I know you guys aren't going to clap, but I'll clap by myself. But yeah,
I'm nodding.
It was an incredible event. Probably one of the best I've ever been a part of.
Easily.
Like, everybody that showed up was fucking awesome. I never seen anything like that. The fucking Walshy chants all weekend long.
Who cares, man?
Like, the dudes that were sitting behind me during the finals were the most ridiculous, loudest people I've ever heard in my life, and they were mean as shit, and they were awesome. It was just everybody played their part, and I thought that was cool as shit. Everybody showed up for Halo.
I want to give a shout out to Siren and his friends for bringing the faces with Walshy on them. I want to give a shout out from the guy from Boss Battles for going in front of the crowd and making people chant. And I want to give a shout out to everyone who showed up and watched online for sure.
Was that the Mohawk Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy was
Everyone
awesome.
who actually applauded when I would be like, "In Demons, does anyone have any fans?" Like that was fantastic. It felt like we were there. We were a unit. We were a close fist instead of spread apart fingers.
Yeah.
It was great to be a part of. So moving ahead here. In case you guys do not know, actually, so we did such a good job. The Team Liquid on their site, on their forums, even posted that the Halo community is so loud. Is there any way, I don't know if this is saying if it was in there, but we can't hear our StarCraft 2 casters.
Fuck yeah!
So we basically reclaimed our throne in my...
Yeah, it was either that or Reddit. It was one of those, though.
Did you hear what Tasteless said when he was casting? Tasteless goes to the audience, "Let's show Halo that we're not scared of him," expecting people to cheer, and no one said anything, dude. In fact, I got quieter. It was so funny.
I mean, I don't know why, man. We're just a bunch of fun-loving guys.
Yeah, man.
We just we're just
a bunch of console gamers who know nothing about skill, competitive gaming, or esports. What is esports? I don't know.
Yeah, what is that, man?
Come on.
It's gaming, that's all it is. I gotta open my window, it's really hot in here.
No, but I thought, if it was, that was Halo's prime event. It couldn't get any better. The way it played out all weekend long, my voice was gone by Sunday. Motherfuckers couldn't hear me on Sunday because I couldn't talk. My voice was over. It was just crazy.
Yeah. It was awesome. All right, so
I want to pick at something though. You said it was at our prime. I feel like we've had events like that before, especially 08. It's been close. Roy's our boy chance. All right, go ahead.
So the reason I put it in its own category is because for once, Halo was on life support and needed to be resuscitated.
Yeah.
And we blew things out of the park. You couldn't ask for a better event than that. You could not. We had incredible series. Although Friday, we'll just go ahead and get into the format as well. But although Friday was a little bit shaky at first because the Halo community decided to show up at the door and we had X amount of hundreds of people show up and it caused Anakin to kind of go into a fritz, which I've never seen done.
He had to do the hand bracket himself or whatever and not the old,
Exactly. So, even with all of that said and done, 6 weeks for an event, 4 weeks for game types, we're in a recession, and we had all these teams and all these players come, you can't ask for a better event than that. You can't. But, so, moving down the list, the new format. BESTMAN, I'm going to kick this one off with you. Do you think it was successful? What needs to be changed? Does anything need to be changed?
Well, I think what every pro was scared of was just the way it was set up. They thought it was going to be pretty random, which we found out it wasn't. Top 8 and free-for-all was all pros. Top 8 and 4s were all pro teams going in. The only 2 teams that really got upset were BTH falling in the top 12 and Straight falling in the top 16, which both aren't very big surprises. And, obviously you had the good amateur teams come up and get somewhat of a good bracket. I think that's going to happen. That happened quite a bit back in, Halo 2. I remember I was on, a random team and got, top 16 once. So it's going to happen, and people are complaining about the golden brackets. But I like they gave everyone a fair chance. The only downfall to it now is I saw Clappy's if we run Halo again, we're going to do it the same way. Which kind of is it gives like people not a reason to play because everyone played for like a pro status before. So if you just take it all away and just restart every event, then it kind of defeats the purpose of playing for a rank. But other than that, I thought it was successful. I had fun. I got top 8 free-for-all and top 6 scores, so it was a good event.
So you got 8th and 6th.
Yeah, I got 8th.
I'm not going to lie. I was really proud of you, D-Man.
Yeah.
I was seriously like a little schoolboy. I was like, man, Nick's going to fucking win the free fours. We're going to be so relevant. And then, man.
If they would have continued playing the free-for-all Friday night at like whatever 3 a.m., I would have done so much better because coming out playing fours, you're kind of in a fours mindset. And then I just jumped in and played free-for-all. Even though, granted, I didn't lose, but I was just like, I wasn't in the rhythm I was in Friday night. But, who knows? It was still fun.
See?
I was surprised by this event. First off, a couple things. I love the format that played. I thought every person had to come in, every team had to come in and play out. I was proud of our pros for all 8 of them getting to the final free-for-all. That was fucking awesome to see. And then the last thing I was super proud of was, or really surprised about rather, was that stage where it was one screen. I thought that would take away, but I thought that actually gave more to the whole thing because everybody was focused on one screen at the same time, and the oohs and ahs came at the same time. Nobody missed a play, and I thought overall, like, hey, that could have sucked, but I thought it played into our hands, and it was cool.
Dre, you want anything on this?
I'm glad we did free-for-all again. I'm glad we brought it back because it gave a lot of the people who normally wouldn't come and sit at home, they gave them a reason to come. And I felt like talking to the people, one of the first questions I always ask when I meet a new competitor at MLG is, are you having fun? Did you have fun? And this event, more kids said they were having a blast because of the free-for-all than any other event I've been to. So it's definitely good for the up-and-comers, for sure.
Yeah, and to touch on the one screen, I think it's more important now that we get commentating somehow for the crowd instead of more than one screen. I don't have a problem with not having 3 screens. I think it's more important to have commentating, and obviously it's cost effective with the booths and whatnot, but I think it's better. I think that's what we don't need to be freaking out because we had one screen, which, some people did freak out right initially, but along with the monitors, the new monitors that came along, which ended up not being bad. I think it was just split screen was the initial reaction, which was terrible. But,
with the commentary, I just don't see it being too much of a factor with the headphones on your ears already.
Yeah.
Is it that crazy with? I mean, Scott, you're not that knowledgeable anyway. What are you
I got Dave, man. I got Dave. He got bombs up there on the reg.
What are you gonna tell him? I think. Personally, yeah, the commentary actually should go out. That's a great point, man.
You know what, though? Even if he could hear it, I think we're at the point in Halo where I don't really care anymore. I don't care if he gets an advantage because he hears that OS is up or that somebody's flanking him. I think Halo's at the point where, fuck it, we're going to have to make some sacrifices, and that should be one of them.
I mean, when I was playing up there, I could hear it. And, that's kind of distracting. It's really distracting.
Too bad. It's not about you anymore. It's about getting fans.
Go back, have Astro create some close-ear headphones, man. You'll be all right. But
yeah, good with that. Why just wear closed ear when you're up there?
Can I get like 3 words in on this subject, man? Is that cool? Yeah, thanks, bro.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm not knowledgeable. I just, but, I am personally a humongous fan of the whole new format. The only thing I will say that needs to be changed right away is that if you're going to have people sign up at the door, instead of it being they say it's a 3-day competition, but really it's Friday night at like 6. If they're going to make it like this, where it's sign up at the door and everything like that, we should be kicking off free-for-all, and I think all the competitors would like this as well, kicking off free-for-all at like 3 p.m. on Friday, everything set, registration done at noon. I mean, the majority of people get there Thursday night anyways, and very few people are going to drive up. I mean, I could be wrong, but my personal take, very few people are going to drive up Friday, like midday, just to. If they know it's going to be at 3 p.m. and registration closes at like 2, so Anakin has a chance, and if he runs late, then we're starting at 5. But if we get everything going, we're off at 3, we're done that night at whatever that would be, probably around 8. And then we could even squeeze in some 4s if we really wanted to, or something kind of cool on the side. That would be awesome. Also, I definitely agree that we need the casters out there. I mean, it's cool. Like, that's the one reason why, like, free-for-all is so fun. You know, like, I know that everyone in the crowd's hearing me throughout the entire time, and it's just like an ego boost. I'm like, man, if I say something funny, like, the crowd's going to laugh, which never fucking happened, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. But,
when you know, I your son in the finals of the free-for-all, that was the funniest shit I ever heard.
Yeah, we were laughing. Remember
that was so funny, dude.
He is so, man. I've adopted him. We look the same and shit, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. It must be all that knots you're sipping on, huh?
You know, I restricted myself with the knots. I was like, look, man, last year shit got fucking crazy on me. Like, I'm going to have, like, 1 in the morning.
But you both got the nuts line. I'm going to punch you in the nuts. I heard you did. That's what the chat just said.
Yeah, so Dave's sitting there, and I, like, set him up to, like, be nice and gentle with, like, the TS Beaver Creek, like how he used to destroy me on it. And he, like, goes in depth, like, everything. And I'm like, Dave, man, you keep this up. I'm going to punch you square in the nuts, man. Like, I can't handle this kind of, like, you guys know me, like, my ego.
You guys are getting, like, what was it, the 50-12 game or something?
50 to, like, 16. I don't know. Dave can give you the stats, like, a rundown. He'll tell you, like, his hit percentage and shit. It's like, come on, man.
That was so cool when they used to do hit percentage. Man.
It's those little things, man.
I miss shots fired, too. That was a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good. So you could be like, oh, you know. But as a whole, do we think the new format did work? Did we knock it out of the park with the format?
Yes.
100%.
Would you rather go? Would anyone rather go back to the pool play?
No, get out of here.
No, but we knew that going in, that it was going to be good.
An interesting fact, don't quote me 100%, but I think MLG has almost changed the bracket system every single year.
Yep.
There's always been some sort of change every year for us.
Maybe not from 2010 to 11. I could be wrong. Oh, no, they did pool play in 2012. They did it in 11. So you're right.
Like, every time it was different. It was like, all right, one place, 32, and then it was like, oh, now we got to get a good team playing on Friday, and then, then they did the pool play, and it was just hectic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be honest, just from casting, too, like, Saturday, although, like, the first couple of rounds, are going to be kind of like a wash, I still had fun casting those matches on split screen because it's kind of cool. Like, sometimes you'll get, like you have, like, Roy and Pistola on the same screen, and it's just cool watching them just move around together instead of, like, splitting the screen.
Let me ask you
we didn't mention the veto system either.
I think the veto system, man.
I just want to make one quick point on this. I think if we had 11 functional game types, that would have worked out so much better. But instead, we had to see Countdown and Zealot a lot, which I didn't really mind because my team was, not the best at Sank flagging. When you have Roach on the other team, you want to kind of avoid Sank. But, it kind of sucks for viewers to see Countdown, Zealot all over again because no one wants to play Penance because it was probably the worst game type ever in MLG's history.
I agree that the veto system was awesome, but I don't think teams did it right yet. Nobody was really countering another team's playstyle.
Yeah, they were.
Nobody vetoed Penance for Instinct, dude. What the fuck? Instinct raped everybody on Penance, and it was
because when Instinct played it.
I don't even know why Penance is a game type, but yeah, keep going.
Yeah, no. Here's the problem with Penance. Is you have all these power weapons in shitty places. And that's really all it is. You have, as soon as you get top control, as soon as you're red base and you form in, push to the portal, because it's the only logical thing you can do. You can watch rockets, you watch jetpack, you watch camo. All you're worried about is if the other team wants to go around and grab the grenade launcher eventually, and then he has to pull something completely out of his ass to get a good grenade launcher. What they need to do is take the rockets, throw them back into old rockets. Stat. Like, that's the bare minimum they could do. So at least you're not just seeing people fly down and just burn the camo instantly and then it's done.
Okay.
And then throw the camo in red room somewhere. So top actually has to drop down and fight for something.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can bait it.
I think a lot of the reasons why they're playing Instinct on Pants is because they're vetoing Beaver Creek. Beaver Creek was one of Instinct's best game type, and I think Dynasty vetoed, and then that's why Pants got picked.
I think Classic beat him on Creek.
Instinct kept picking Penance too, though.
Yeah.
Like that was it.
They would go down
as a cooler.
They would go down 2 games, pick Pennis, and come back. We saw it 2 times in the tournament. No team was. I don't know. It was. I'm a spectator, so I could see it. I could see it happening, but whatever.
Like I thought Instinct was really just trying to hang on to the tournament, and I thought Ogre 2 played out of his mind.
Yeah, man.
He played out of his mind. Like, that's the best I've seen him play in a couple years. But, and hey, Roy's my boy, but I don't think he had at this event like he usually does. And that was kind of disappointing to see overall. But it was crazy the way things went down. Crazy.
All right. Well, we are going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we will be discussing. I have a format now. Recaps of the event, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Halo Council, everybody. Dmaq, BESTMAN, Nexy, and I'm Gandhi. And it is time to recap the weekend. Nick, I'm going to throw this one to you right off the beginning. What's your kind of top story from the weekend with performance only, not so much that we all know that the crowd kicks ass and we're the best thing ever, but besides that?
Well, initially it would have to be all the pros that were getting knocked out in the first, second round of free-for-all. You could say that straight seed. I don't remember exactly what 11. Seed they had, 11. But yeah, they could have had a much higher seed if T-Squared, even Ninja, and Mqbool went further than they did. They only had one player in the top 16, so I was a little bit surprised by Straight's placing. They had 2 lands, had a lot of games played on a lot of teams, and they simply just did not place well. And obviously, Instinct losing. I think they won the Sunday tournament at the Red Bull land. Not sure. I think SQ won more games or more series overall at that land, but I just thought that was really. I didn't expect them to lose the satisfying finals, especially the way that they did. A veteran team like that shouldn't lose games. I mean, obviously anything can happen in Halo, but I just didn't think they would lose the way that they did. But,
well, you know what it really comes back down to is that they lost both King of the Hills, they lost Nexus, and they lost Beaver Creek. And you can't lose, there's no excuse to lose a King of the Hill, especially when Flamesword goes neg 23.
Yeah.
Ogre 2 knows this. Ogre 2 knows that. And that's like the first thing he said when I went to the bar afterwards. He was like, Flamesword dropped in neg 23 and we lost the game, and because of that they took us to 5 and then they came back. It was like King of the Hill we're just not good at it.
Beaver King of the Hill is one of the better gameplays, or Beaver in general.
He didn't have most time for his team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had like third or...
No, he had second, but...
I don't know if he was shooting bad or if he was just, pushing a lot. And, sometimes he was
sick all weekend.
Yeah, that is true. But you don't know if he definitely played 100% bad Halo or if he was just, that guy just getting fucked. Because I get screwed over a lot like that. Like, I'll just drop, like, a -8 and we'll win on, like, a TS game. And it just happens. You just die. But... it was just really surprising, going back to the point that Instinct lost in the fashion they did. I didn't expect that at all.
I thought if I had to look back, it was how good Ogre 2 played. That was something that was crazy for me. Like I said before, it hasn't happened in a couple of years where he was dominant. The things he was doing on Beaver Creek while he was standing in the back with Snipe, he was shitting on dudes. And I thought that was awesome. Agree with you, B-Man, that it was surprising, that Instinct lost. But overall, the biggest highlight for me was Game 11 of the finals. That game, to me, was the best shit that I've seen in a long time. Yeah. The way it played out, how Status Quo was up 42 to 37, and they have the complete dominance, and Instinct's up 47 to 44. Then they're completely dominant. They're up top. You don't think anybody's going to lose. How many times are people going to get backwhacked with rockets and radio? It's fucking crazy. And then Status Quo. They just make a few plays that, you run it back. And I told Roy after, if the game to 60, Instinct probably could have won. Most likely they would have. But it just happened to be at that point the game ended, and these teams were that close. And I thought that was like the most.
Well, it's because both teams had to make a play on those rockets at the end, and because of that, it just causes a complete chaos. Like there's so many different plays. It's on the decision. Like what are you gonna do? Pistola had one bullet in the snipe looking big doors, and Snakebite picks up the one boxer snipe when he sniped the guy. Crowd goes crazy. Gets 2 shots on the radio. Dies the snipe. Their big door. Do you think Pistola knew that guy had snipe right there? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it was all so crazy. I was noticing it as it was going on. Obviously, I couldn't see everyone else's screen, but I'm just like, what happened to that other snipe? And what do you know? Snakebite comes around and brains Pistola. Yep. And then there was, like, main ramp battles going on, and it was nuts. It was crazy. That's the first time I've been in the crowd screaming, besides when I was heckling Neighbor at Vegas 07, when you guys were playing.
Think about this.
Those rockets were crazy. That rocket battle at the end was awesome.
It was crazy. It was a hell of a...
Think about how many times Instinct went to Game 5 and somebody went clutch, whether it's Ogre lifting on Countdown versus early in the tournament and getting the last kill, or Enable getting caught off guard in the winners finals, and again Game 5 winning that one. You could only clutch it so many times, and I felt like Instinct certainly had the game won. They were up top in the high 40s of the game when it starts to get intense. But Status Quo is a team where they're not going to they're not going to get caught out of position. If they do it once, you're never going to see it again. And I don't think it's fair to give criticism on Flamesword for going -22 on main stage. If he's winning games, sure, it seems odd, and maybe he just sucked that game, but we should just shut our mouth about it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's not something we should
do.
Do.
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't ever insulting Flamesword, just to clarify. It was more or less the fact that game escaped Instinct entirely.
At the end of the day, Flamesword wins 16-12, Game 11, and he fucking carried them to win. There's, you can't doubt that. Captain came through on some Michael Jordan shit. Straight up.
I'd rather go -20 and win a tournament than go +20 and get 8.
Oh, yeah.
What really stood out to me this tournament is how good Formal is, Snakebite, the classic team. It's teams that I didn't follow at all last year because I was out of the scene. I can't believe how good some of these kids that I knew nothing about were. Royal 2? Holy these kids are the best. And
man.
If you didn't watch 2011, you wouldn't know.
Bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I got 8. I have another not-missers.
Assaulting the free-for-all, I wouldn't have called that in a million years. Props to him. He did a good job.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, 2 things really stick out.
Hold on, one more. Ace getting top 6. I'm sorry. with that team, with you, best
Yeah, Shady Halo Kids. Come on, man.
I didn't expect it. I just thought Ace kind of carried you guys and he shined. I didn't watch too many games, but top 6 for you guys was crazy for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. First and foremost, the team who I think everyone on Saturday was like, holy shit, like this team has the potential to come back and win this, was Classic. First and foremost, they didn't actually get a top 8 seed. We all predicted them. I'm pretty sure everyone in their right mind predicted Classic to have like a top 4 seed after the free-for-all. They all kind of failed in that regard. But then playing against Instinct, they had the series won. They were up 2-0. They came out and put a spanking on CCF on Sanctuary. Just a spanking. Instinct was completely caught off guard. They had no idea. King of the Hill, they bring it back. Game 4, back and forth, they bring it back. And then the craziest 50-49 game of all time. And the one thing that you've learned from watching Instinct this weekend is that they stack radios, or they stack up top, or they stack second level, and then someone just airs up on the weak guy. And that's what Ogre 2 did. He aired up after hesitating like one time. Hesitated once, and then he said, you know what, all right, I'm going up here. He's half shield, and he melees him twice.
Yeah, that's a fine Classic tournament right there.
Yeah.
I mean, they finished, what, 7th, 8th? And
that's a disappointment if you ask me. A complete disappointment. I don't know who performed bad, because from what I saw, I didn't really see anything. I know they almost lost to Straight Rippin', who was basically their practice squad in between this season, and that to me is just...
Who are you talking about? I'm sorry, Scotty. Classic. Well, Scotty, they lost Game 5 to 50-49. How is that disappointing? You lost to the team.
7-8, man.
Hey,
easily had the ability to come back.
I wouldn't say disappointing. I think it just didn't roll their way this time. And with this format, you're going to see a little bit of randomness, and that's why some teams that are much better than 8th place are going to fall into that 8th place spot. It's going to happen.
Well, my thing is that you had 2 people who were in the Big Flex 4 free-for-all finals in Straight Sick and Prototype, and both of them weren't...
They didn't even make top 16.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's disappointing in itself.
Neither did Campy.
But, you know...
a $5,000 check last year from free-for-all, and now they fall short.
I don't care about...
You can't say that
means to me is good, because that means they're concentrating on their 4v4 game. Last year, I didn't see them go Game 5, 50-49 with Instinct. I never saw that. So
higher placements, actually.
Well, yeah, because we had the seeding and the pro status, but still, you never saw them play Instinct the way they played them. And they did a great job. I thought, as a team, they were a great team.
All right, my second story. Shady Halo Kids, man.
Yeah.
What in the hell?
That's a damn good
story. Down 2-0 versus Believe the Hype. And by the way, they get they get a top 8 seed, number 1. And that's like, what? And what did you guys get? Next 5th, right?
Yeah.
5th seed? So they get a 5th seed, all because BESTMAN, for some reason, does really well in the free-for-all. And so does everyone on the team. They all do exceptionally well. And then they actually do well in the 4s. I asked them midday Saturday, like, kind of being a dick. I came up to Elon and I was like, hey, man, you guys out now? And he goes, no, we're still in the winners bracket. And I was like, really? I had no idea. But so, you know, that's good. I mean, you guys were down, 2-0 versus Believe the Hype, and you came back and did it. And then you gave Quo a run for the money. And then you kind of lost it in that Game 4. But, I mean, other than that, I was happy with you. Now, will Elam still continue to play? That's a different question. But I would have to say I would like to see what this team would do if they actually practice more than 29 games.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard to see what Elam does, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna quit. He said he wanted to go out on a win or like a top 3, good place. He wanted to beat Sasko. Unfortunately didn't. Nobody did it. Really.
That was a damn good series. I watched the whole thing. That was very close, and you guys played them very well. I'll give you props on that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think he's done for sure. He started back up at school, and I think he wants to move on. but you know, we could still see some rendition of Minister Ace or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? We'll figure it out sooner or later. Have time.
Hysteria played out of his mind.
What are you talking about? There'll be a rendition of Shady. Halo's dead, man. There's no more tournaments for Halo.
Whoa! Why you got
over?
Right?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Why you gotta say shit like that?
My favorite teams this tournament: number 1, Instinct; number 2, Shady Halo Kids, for sure.
Yeah.
When B-Man was playing, I felt like a fangirl.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
In the casting,
you were represented. You guys should have gone as the Halo Council.
You should have. You really should have. Like, as I was casting in the free-for-all, it's just like, I was like a fan, like I was watching Nick, but luckily, like in the finals, he was just getting so destroyed that I could actually focus on the match.
Can I address the chat real quick? Because kids are screaming at me and tweeting me at this point. I'm watching the chat. Relax. I'm talking to Clap. We're gonna get him on after we get through some of these topics, so you guys can chill.
We sort of have a format.
Hey, but now, man, Clap can just infringe on our rights to have a show.
No, we'd love to have. We're having Clap on here. We love to have Clap, but damn, dudes, chill for a second. Sorry, B-Man. I didn't mean to cut you off.
People are just oozing for the information, like from Clap, and that's why. We're going to talk about Anaheim after this, and then we're going to bring Clap on, because God knows if we say anything wrong when he's there, he's just going to yell at us. So it's just going to be wait, get our point across, and then bring him in. So in time, young Padawans, in time. So any other big stories there? I guess we can all say possibly one of the best 11-game series in MLG history. I would throw that in the mix with the Straight TV saga back in 2009.
No, this was the best. Come on.
I'm trying to think.
This was the best. Like, between the teams, the franchises that they are, the fact that, you know, it's again,
right.
The Ogre being dethroned again. Like, it's the best. The 2-week new team, like, game 11 of 11.
Versus SDK.
Yeah, well, yeah, since then, you know, Halo 1 is to my heart, and it didn't really have the audience that it had today, but...
Oh, I'm just saying, you know, it's these little things.
It's a different game. The value that this was given, the oohs and ahs, I just can't imagine anybody who missed this. This is missing the Super Bowl of Halo. It was the best shit I've seen, ever. Yeah. Way more hype than the national championships.
I can honestly say I've been to 35 events, and maybe that was my 36th. That was easily the most fun I've ever had in an event. Easily.
Wow, that's a bold statement. Because you know, after a while, you get used to it. You know, everything's just going to happen. They're not as fun as when I first started. But that's a bold. I might have to agree with you.
I had a blast this event, man.
Yeah.
I really did.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. I don't know if I'm a fan of, like, positive criticism. Like, it's weird actually getting, like, compliments.
Yeah, we need to be bitching at Clap right now. We need to be, you know, just talking shit to Sundance. We need to bring that back. What happened?
Yeah, no, not that, but just, like, normally, like, I refuse to check the forums, like, just because I felt like personally I did well, so. But normally it's like I check the forums and it's like the first thing is like, Gandhi needs to be fired, his smile's weird, he has 4 eyes, looks like his hairline's receding, he's slightly overweight, like, get him out of there. It's like, Jesus, man, like, but it's good. There was still all my Twitter followers, I love you all, because you guys did nothing but shower me with the
even the iPhone porn-star spam bots, we love you too today.
Yeah, they're the best. Yeah, Trey, thanks for that, man. I really appreciate it.
What was that?
Somehow I have like 10,000 followers.
Oh.
My account hacked.
I didn't think that was going to work, dude.
What the heck happened?
Dmaq doesn't even know. Nobody knows what we're talking about, by the way.
That's hilarious.
We had a race to 10,000 Twitter followers today. Gandhi won.
Yeah.
I don't know though, bro. I had 10,000, then a bunch of people removed me because I just got spam bots. That's all my followers.
It's because as soon as I got 10,000, I was like, all right, witty tweet.
You locked them in. Smart,
the spam bots are like, oh man, I can't let them go. But all right, we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about our thoughts on Anaheim, and then we'll bring in the Clap. So stay tuned.
guys.
I'm not wearing any pants.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Halo Council. Gandhi, Dmaq, BESTMAN, Nexy, all the usual faces here. So this last segment, we actually have so much to talk about, but we thought this was the one that's most pressing, and it means the most to each of us here, is that everyone, as soon as the event ended, I got tweets multiple times throughout the event, like, did we do good enough to have an Anaheim event? And, you know, some people could say, you know, we could talk about other things that seems to be more pressing, like big upsets, what teams should break up, things of the such. But this is the one that we're just going to kind of voice our own personal opinions about. And I want to give the floor first to Dmaq on this one.
I say no. I say I think it's weird that we're going to have an event without Halo. But, you know, it sucks. But do I think Anaheim is going to happen? No way. You know, would I like it to happen? Yes. Should I think it will happen? No. It's just, like, the teams don't show up on the West Coast. If you let them save their money this time, they just went to an event later on in the year before Halo 4 drops. Let's have one more Halo Reach event, and let's do the big-ass blowout again. Let's save it again, and let's experience this, because you know what? This one event was more memorable than the 6 we had last year put together. And I just want to experience this one more time before we move on to Halo 4, so we don't call the memories of Halo Reach a complete bust, okay? And I think skipping Anaheim allows us to do so. So I say, hey, skip it. It's all good.
Nick? Well, you know, skipping Anaheim brings a lot of pros and cons. You know, obviously you just covered the pros. You don't want to waste an event in Anaheim and have less than 100 teams, because even at the peak of Halo, West Coast events weren't selling out. So I don't see what would be so profitable about having an Anaheim, considering, you know, we're not a numbers game. I don't think that our numbers were significantly higher, if at all, than last year's numbers. So, you know, it all comes down then, you know, what we want to do from if we don't have an Anaheim. Because if we do hold off to Raleigh, I think Halo 4 comes out right. I don't know the exact date for Raleigh, but I think Halo 4 is usually released around that time. So it could lose a lot of interest into Reach. You know, a lot of people picking up H4 and H4 right around the corner, because that's what happened at Halo 3, end of Halo 3.
But I'm scared. You're changing my opinion now, and this sucks. I want it in Anaheim so bad. I really do. I can't imagine an MLG event without Halo Reach or Halo in general. Yeah, this is a good point. Yeah.
Yo, I'm muted, guys. Sorry. All right. Let me start that one over. One, you look at what MLG was preaching to us before this last event, and that the Halo's not going to be there in the same capacity, and don't expect the full season and all that. I think they kind of knew that Anaheim was not going to have Halo. But you also have to look at MLG's relationship with a company like Blizzard. Now, Blizzard just announced that in the first time in X amount of years, they're not doing a BlizzCon event in Anaheim, which is one of the biggest gaming events I've ever been to in my life. But MLG will be there, and you look at the relationship that they have, so it would make a lot of sense for Blizzard to fully support MLG going into Anaheim, not only with Starcraft, but maybe Diablo 3, which is around, or Diablo, whatever Diablo is around the corner, and World of Warcraft and games like that. So if you ask me, I do not think Halo will be there, but, and I had this conversation with somebody at the event, and they're going to kill me because I don't remember their name, and I wanted to give them credit, but I want to say this. If Sundance, Clap, whoever, you guys announce that Halo will be at the next event after Anaheim, and you open up 200 spots or 500 spots, we will fill that bracket. You just have to give us the right amount of time. So we'll skip Anaheim. Fuck, we'll even watch the Starcraft in Anaheim. But open up the bracket, get people that we can register now, because we will fill that bracket up. Even if it's 4,000 teams, I don't care.
What about this? Why doesn't now? We've heard about the fighting game arena, and this is what I really want to ask Clap when we bring him on. Why don't we get an arena instead? Well, fine, let's.
Well, that's what we're in the works of doing in the Halo console, as you already know.
Yeah, but why doesn't we get an MLG arena, Scotty?
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
I'm talking about it, and I know it may not be the most lucrative thing, and they might not make a lot of money off it, but even if you could give teams the option of giving them $200 when they got there and doing whatever, however you got to do it. But most of the Halo players are East Coast anyway. Most of them will make the drive. So to me, I want to see an arena instead of being at the event, and I'll be happy. Well, I'll be not happy, satisfied.
Let me ask you this, Dmaq. One, we're going to ask Clap, really, because he has all the answers, and I have a feeling he's going to have some good news for us. But two, I want to say this. We do have an arena right now. It's called the Red Bull Land. It's called the TLN, and they're not getting the viewership they need. Am I wrong? Is it not the same exact concept?
I'm talking things run by MLG, Dre. Like, this
is the point I wanted to touch on.
Strictly focused on MLG.
Yeah, this is the point I wanted to touch on here. So, in regards to Anaheim with Halo, we all know West Coast sucks. In regards to Halo numbers, I mean, the stream numbers increase just because you have 40 teams who don't even show up, so all those kids are watching it. But really, it's not so much of the question of will we be in Anaheim, because I can say from my heart that it wouldn't be smart on MLG's part to do so. But that's irrelevant to me. What matters to me is how they handle it. We all know in the past that MLG has kind of been iffy with how they've handled things. And, and we all have known that, and we've all experienced it. Now, I think if they come out and just say, no, there's no Halo in Anaheim, that's it, then I think this is when we all go into panic mode and we say, no matter what we do as the Halo Council, no matter what content we kind of come up with, I don't think we'll hold on to the people who are just the casual players who just come to compete at events. I don't think we can do that without MLG support. MLG wanting to do an online tournament that Clap said, sweet. Online, the pros already lose interest regardless of the prize pool because it's just super frustrating. I think we need some sort of X-type arena, something that we can say, okay, although we're not at Anaheim, we still have a reason to play because MLG is putting interest in us to an extent. If we feel like our efforts are just frivolous and anything we do doesn't mean anything to them, there's no point in coming back. And everyone here knows that.
That guy just got sad, man. Like, why are you getting so depressing? It's been a good week, bro. We got 1,000 viewers. We had a great event.
Great week, but what I'm saying is think about it like this. Think about it like this. We have no affiliation with MLG, okay? All we we right here are an amateur team, okay? We got the message from this show that if we show up to Columbus, then we will have another event in Anaheim. MLG, if we're the 4 amateur kids on the team, if we're listening to an announcement from MLG saying we are not at Anaheim even though you guys did exceptionally well at Columbus, what's the first thought in your mind? We're fucked.
We're going to Dmac's house. That's the first thing I'm going to think about.
Well, I just want to say online tournament's not going to work because there's so many people out there DDoSing people offline just for the sake of taking people offline. It's just not going to happen. Can't even stream scrims. How are we going to be able to play online? So I think a lot of these questions will be good for Clap to get in. I don't know when you guys want to get him in, but instead of speculating and him raging.
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we'll go to a commercial break and then...
Yeah, good call.